very good morning to you this Friday morning. Now, you might know that that's not Morgan Evans and Diamonds, as I said. That is the Great Olive Night, and tell you a story. And Olive Night will be here in Kununurra on Sunday at the Warringara Aboriginal Arts here in Kununurra for the Chura New Music concert, Sona's 2 tour. Joining me in the studio, it's a very good morning to Tos Marnie. Hello, Tos, how are you?
Morning, Scott. Just unbelievably fantastic to simply be here.
You look unbelievably fantastic as well. Tos, it's great to have you in the studio. Welcome back to Kununurra. You're no stranger to Kununurra. Chura New Music been coming through for many, many years. Tell us a little bit about the background of Chura New Music.
Well, Chura was set up 33 years ago, in fact, Scotty.
Wow. It's your baby, isn't it?
Well, mostly.
Yeah.
So many people have contributed across that time.
You've had some fantastic people associated with it over the years.
Indeed. Look, the short story was it was created to support Australian composers, and specifically West Australian composers, doing things that you wouldn't normally expect to hear in the mainstream. That's the simplest story. And I've always had a long interest, really, about making connections with all the various Aboriginal cultures per se, and sort of music that isn't heard normally. That's a simple story. And so, of course, this time we've set up these collaborations between Kimberley artists and artists from around Australia in this setting of various settings, but one of them is this annual tour that we do, and this one coming up is one of those.
And musos from around the world as well. Some quite accomplished musos. You're a muso yourself, a flautist.
I am. I play the flute.
Yeah, what a wonderful instrument. We were just talking before. My wife plays the flute as well. She loves it as well. So it is a wonderful instrument. And joined with some rather interesting musos. We'll get to two of the local Kimberley stars in a minute. But just tell us a little bit about your Iranian instrumentalist. Shall I have a go at his name?
Yes.
Esfandiar Shamir?
Perfect. I think he'd give you sort of 9.5 out of 10, which is better than me, I think.
I've been practising.
So, look, but what is easy is that Esfandiar goes by Essie.
Essie, well, there you go. That's it.
So that makes it easy.
A percussionist.
Look, he is. He specifically plays a Persian instrument called the daf, a Persian drum. It's a sort of single handheld drum, very large thing, which he really is a master of. Back in Iran, he's quite revered for playing this instrument and sought out because the political situation there meant he couldn't be there simply.
Yeah.
So he's been in Perth for the last 8 years, and wowing audiences there and really across Australia and internationally in all sorts of both traditional and sort of contemporary Persian music groups. But look, it's just he's also expanding his percussion and playing other Western drums as well now. But he really is a fantastic performer. He also plays, I should say, that's not there, and also a master of a Persian flute, which is a wooden flute, so not played like the European flute, which he's a master of. So we've got 2 flutes on tour.
Fantastic. And well, they'll be doing a couple of duets, no doubt.
Oh, indeed. So look, he adds that further sort of cross-cultural, multicultural element to the group. And the other person, before you go on to the 2 stars, is Tristan Parr. He's a wonderful cellist.
So you've got the strings as well.
Indeed.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
They are cellists. I always find that they are mesmerising.
Indeed.
You're really a brilliant instrument, absolutely mesmerising. So there are a couple. Now, Tristan, local?
It's from Perth, sorry.
Right,
it was also from Perth. I mean, the whole... We had to make sure everyone was from WA, or at least living in WA at the moment.
Okay, now let's talk about a couple of the Kimberley stars. Now, one of them is so well known. I mean, he is an absolute legend, not only in the Kimberley, but right around Australia. He is revered around Australia. He is the man well, they call it saltwater country, saltwater music.
Indeed.
We're talking about Stephen Pigram, the great Stephen Pigram. I know musos around Australia who go out of their way to, whenever they're in Broome, to go and say hello to Stephen. He's played with some incredible bands and musos all around Australia and around the world. He's been associated with Chura Music for quite a few years, hasn't
Since 2006, he's been collaborating with these tours.
he? He loves it.
He really does love it, and he's still the Pigram brothers still play a few times a year, and he loves that version of performance. But this gives him a very different outlet for his music, as you can imagine, with the sort of the instrumental backing for his songs. We've also had this. You could say this is an offshoot of an ongoing program called Kimberley Echoes, which is with an ensemble called the Gnarly Ensemble, which was sort of expanded version of the instrumental lineup, which we even toured to the East Coast last year in the Melbourne Recital Centre, Sydney Opera House, which was fantastic to see Stephen in that with this sort of instrumental setting, if you like. But yes, look, he's an incredible musician, a really great, I should say. I don't think his songwriting is acknowledged enough. But his lyrics and his music is quite, and I hate the word world class, but it's beyond that. And so it is, and a truly great cultural advocate too. So where we can, we try to include Stephen in what we do.
I always think it's great to have artists like the Pigram brothers, the Pigram brothers, who nothing matters. It's all about sitting around, family, friends, loved ones, with instruments and playing music.
Yep.
The fame is just so far removed.
Indeed. Yep.
It's just brilliant,
Yep.
and because of that, they have become so famous.
Indeed.
There'll be a lot of people there on Sunday night just to say good day to their mate Stephen. I'm glad that he keeps on coming around with you. He's been, as you say, associated for many, many years. May it continue. And of course, one of the big headline acts is none other than Olive Knight.
Indeed, the beautiful Olive Knight's
we
voice.
just heard from her with Tell You a Story. She's got a great sound.
It's quite unique, and we've been wanting to collaborate with Olive in one of our programs for many years now, and the Stars and Ducks all lined up, and it's happening, which is truly fantastic. And to have Olive and Stephen together in this context is we know is going to be pure magic. Of course, Olive, in fact, last year, and I think even did that 6-month tour with Hugh Jackman around the world.
That was pretty well documented in local media as well.
Right. And so clearly quite resilient for some, which is fantastic. And so to have her with us for this time and to, she's really equally looking forward to having her music done in a different context, and is in fact writing new songs for the tour.
Oh, fantastic! And we'll be hearing quite a few from her third album, Heroes and Laments. I should imagine we'll be hearing of quite a few songs on Sunday from that. And that song that we played in Olive Knight, Tell You a Story, is from that album, Heroes and Laments. We got a couple of good Olive Knight songs in the library. Not only international blues, gospel singer, songwriter, teacher, mentor, but also political activist, and she's got the whole gamut going on there.
She sure does. Yeah, she's very committed to supporting her community and all the communities across the Kimberley in their strengths and celebrating culture not only across the Kimberley but really across the world.
And you've had lots of Indigenous artists over the years too. I know didgeridoo players coming through, some of the best didgeridoo players in the world.
William Barton.
Yeah, exactly.
Mark Atkins, indeed.
It's on again, the Tura New Music, the Sonus 2 Tour. Have I said that right? Sonus 2 Tour?
Perfect, Scotty.
And it is happening this coming Sunday. Now, it's happening at the Warringah Aboriginal Arts. It is on from 5 p.m, is that correct, Toss?
It certainly is.
Going up until 7 p.m. And
we've got a special performance by the Warringah performers. They're doing Wanga dance and song at the start. So
that's always impressive.
If people are thinking of coming, definitely get there at 5 o'clock. And for community as well, there's for everyone there's barbecue food by donation. There's going to be, I think it's a bit of a stew cook up.
Oh, nice, very nice, well done. And
otherwise, it's free. I should say the performance is free.
Yeah, it is, and we've been letting people know about the Sonus 2 Tour. Good news because it's kicking off in Kununurra. So it's the magic's going to sort of start on Sunday.
World premiere.
Continue on. You're also working with kids and schools. And
we are as we go across. Monday morning we'll be at the district high school here doing a couple of presentations to primary and then the secondary, and then we go on to Warman, Halls Creek, Fitzroy, then up the peninsula, up to Jared and Lombardina, One Point, Bega Bay, and then end up in Broome, just in time for Shinju, end of Shinju.
Yeah, the big Shinju 50th anniversary, Shinju Matsuri. So that's going to be a big one. You'll have a fantastic time down there. Toss, thanks very much for your time coming in and talking about Sonus Tour. We hope you have a fantastic time. Please give all my best and Warringah's best to Olive and Stephen, and also Essie.
Indeed.
Essie. Tristan, he's the cellist, and of course yourself. We hope you have a fantastic tour. Don't forget, it's on Warringah Aboriginal Arts this coming Sunday, the 23rd. I was going to say gates open, but the gates are already open. It's going to kick off at 5 p.m, going for a couple of hours, and it's going to be a great one. It always is. The Sonus 2 Tour, part of Tura New Music. And we're going to play out. We've gone a little bit over time, but that's nothing unusual for us on a 9 o'clock on any given day. We're going to play Mimi. Which is from the...
This is from the Gnarly Ensemble that I mentioned before.
Gnarly Ensemble, yeah, brilliant. So we're going to play out that, and that'll get us up to the news. Toss, have a fantastic tour, and we'll catch up with you next time.
Thanks for having us, Scotty.
Pleasure.